Hey everyone, Pinoyex here once again, back with another video for Monster Hunter World Iceborne. In today's video, what we're going to be taking a look at are Fanged Wyverns throughout the Monster Hunter series and what makes them such a great species overall throughout Monster Hunter World Iceborne. Now the idea behind this video is to simply take a look at the Fanged Wyverns and what makes them so great, but not only that, we're also gonna take a look as to what kind of Fanged Wyvern I'm looking forward to if Capcom decides to go ahead and expand them as future title DLC updates in Iceborne or in future Monster Hunter games. Now with all of that being said, if you enjoyed these videos, please consider leaving a like on the video itself and let me know in the comments below what your favorite Fanged Wyvern is throughout Monster Hunter World Iceborne. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the greatness of Fanged Wyverns throughout Monster Hunter World Iceborne and the entire Monster Hunter series. Now to kick things off, what exactly are Fanged Wyverns throughout Monster Hunter? Fanged Wyverns are quadrupedal creatures throughout the Monster Hunter series that can technically be described as walking on all fours, similar to that of real-life mammals, but at the same time having their own unique body structure to them that makes them separate from one another depending on the category of Fanged Wyvern that we are looking into. There are three kinds of Fanged Wyvern so far that we can see throughout the Monster Hunter series. One that is based on canines, which are the Zinogre and the Odogaron. We also have the reptilian Fanged Wyverns, which are Dodogama, Great Gyros, and Great Jaguars. And finally, we have a fusion of the two, which takes on the form of Tobikadachi and its subspecies. Overall, Fanged Wyverns come in many different shapes and sizes, and for the most part, they are so unique in the Monster Hunter series because there's no set way to describe them in any way, shape, or form, aside from the fact that they are quadrupedal creatures which have much stronger forelimbs than they do hind limbs. Now in terms of overall combat capabilities, most Fanged Wyverns tend to be very physical in the way they fight, but at the same time, they actually have quite a unique ability to adapt to the environment around them. Now depending on the kind of Fanged Wyvern that you are facing, you will see them adapt to the environment in their own unique way. For example, a Dodogama and a Great Jaguars will adapt to the environment around them by actually consuming something in the environment and using what they've consumed as weapons in order to decimate hunters. For the Great Jaguars, this is the meat of the Aptonaut that it's eaten. For the Dodogama, this is the rock that it eats in the Elder's Recess. So even though these creatures have just eaten, they will use what they've eaten as combat mechanics in the game. Monsters such as the Tobikadachi as well as the Odogaron, they actually adapt to the environment around them by latching onto walls and trees in order to attack the hunters from behind. This is actually quite unique in my personal opinion because these creatures are using the environment around them as ledges in order to latch onto the wall and then decimate the hunters from behind when they least suspect it. So both the Tobikadachi as well as the Odogaron are very adapted to their environment by using the actual environment around them in order to gain elevation and attack the hunters. Finally, monsters such as the Zinogre and its subspecies as well as Great Gyros actually use a harmony between themselves and the creatures around them in order to attack hunters. In the case of Great Gyros, it utilizes its capability to call on a Gyros pack in order to bombard the hunters with a pack of Gyroses. However, when it comes to the Zinogre and its subspecies, it instead calls on the Fulgur bugs and the Dracopage bugs for the subspecies version in order to utilize its elemental capabilities and create that harmony between the Zinogre and the bugs that it's utilizing. So overall, depending on the monster that you're fighting, the Fanged Wyverns in the Monster Hunter series have a very unique way in adapting to the environment around them by utilizing what they have been given in terms of combat capabilities. Now the only complaint that I have in regards to Fanged Wyvern's overall design is the fact that Capcom initially created these Fanged Wyverns to be something along the lines of introductory monsters, meaning that they don't really leave much of an impact throughout the endgame of Monster Hunter World Iceborne, and for the most part they are quite easy to deal with. What I'm hoping in future Monster Hunter games or a future title DLC update in Iceborne is that Capcom creates a new Fanged Wyvern, possibly a fusion of the canine and the reptilian characteristics, similar to that of Tobikadachi, that actually has a high threat level to it, making it a very difficult monster to fight, similar to that of the Zinogre. For me personally, if a Fanged Wyvern can be as difficult as Zinogre, outside of just fighting Zinogre and the Ebony Odogaron for example, then this will leave a much bigger impact throughout the entire species of Fanged Wyverns in my personal opinion, making them that much greater in my personal opinion because there's actually a lot more variety on the endgame version of this monster than there is variety during the early parts of the game. Overall, that is what I would love to see in Monster Hunter World Iceborne's title DLC update or even future Monster Hunter games at that. A Fanged Wyvern that can really test my mettle when it comes to hunting them because of the fact that they are such a high threat level monster that they are so difficult to fight, similar to that of let's say the Stygian Zinogre throughout Monster Hunter World Iceborne. Now as a final note, when it comes to a Fanged Wyvern in future Monster Hunter games or a title DLC update, what I'm really hoping for is a Fanged Wyvern that actually has the elemental capabilities of ice or water. These are the only two elements so far that we have not seen on Fanged Wyverns throughout Monster Hunter World Iceborne, and I would definitely love to see Capcom create a Fanged Wyvern that has these elemental capabilities. We already have thunder, dragon, and fire, and for the most part, these elements are prominent with the Fanged Wyverns that we see so far in the game, especially when it comes to the thunder element. However, we don't really have a Fanged Wyvern as of right now that actually has the capabilities to, let's say, spew water at you or even create ice beams at you. So I would like to see a Fanged Wyvern that has a water or ice elemental on it, or even a mixture of both where it can actually freeze the water around it. So hopefully that is something that we can see on a future Fanged Wyvern throughout the Monster Hunter series. And that is pretty much it for this video, quickly taking a look at Fanged Wyverns and what makes them so great throughout Monster Hunter World Iceborne, and what kind of Fanged Wyvern I'm looking forward to if Capcom decides to go ahead and expand them as a creature throughout the Monster Hunter series. What kind of Fanged Wyvern would you like to see in Monster Hunter World Iceborne? Let me know in the comments below what kind of Fanged Wyvern you would like to see as a title DLC update or in a future Monster Hunter game, and what kind of capabilities would you like to see on these Fanged Wyverns. Now that is pretty much it from me for this video. If you enjoyed these videos, please consider leaving a like on the video itself and subscribing to the channel, as well as hitting that bell icon so you can go ahead and catch up on any future Monster Hunter content that I might be doing or any other games that I might be playing in future. Until then, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks ever so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Onward and upward.